All right. Hello, everybody. It's me, Jason Thomas, the insect hunter, and in today's episode, I'm going to be showing you off a new trapping method using one of these. Explain to you how to make it and what it is, how it works. And then I'm also going to share some announcements with you guys about some new upcoming live videos and some changes that I'm making to the channel. So let's get right into this, folks. All right. So first off, I have a few announcements for you guys. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the chat. I'm not watching the chat right now, but Brian is, and so he will be texting me questions as they come in. And if you can't hear me, let me know in the chat, and I'll have Brian text me. But hopefully everything should be going through. I can hear myself, so I think it's all going through fine. So the purpose and why I made this video is because mainly I wanted to do a live test. As you can see, I'm here in my garage. I'm having to work from home due to the COVID-19 situation. And it's a little bit hectic right now trying to work at home. It's a challenge. And all of this test, this is me, the one-man show, trying to do all this stuff by myself. But luckily I have folks like Brian that are out there helping me out. So anyways, I want to do a live test. So this may not be a perfect video, but let me know in the comments how the stream is coming through, if the quality is good, and what it looks like. I'm trying to do all this by myself, so please bear with me, but I appreciate you guys jumping on with me. I also am doing this because I wanted to announce some trainings that are coming up, so let me pop those up on the screen. So there are some trainings that are going to be happening that you can tune into that will be here on the Insect Hunter YouTube channel, or there's also a Zoom training I'm doing. So today at 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there's going to be a Zoom that I'm doing for kids on general entomology. I'll be talking about how to make pitfall traps, what is an insect, and talk a little bit about insects and some of their relatives, other arthropods. So I just want to say that is meant for kids, and if any of you do join in on that, please make sure you keep all of your comments appropriate. Don't disappoint me. I know I have great viewers and great folks that watch my channel. Please don't disappoint me, and be respectful if you do join in on that Zoom call. If not, next Thursday, April 23rd at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be doing a live YouTube video, and I'm going to call it Are Spiders Evil? So I'll be asking that question. That'll be that one. And then the next week, I'm going to be doing a live video on black widow spiders. So that will be very fun, getting my adrenaline going just thinking about it. There'll be some exciting stuff in those videos and some demonstrations, but I'm excited to offer those to you guys. So that's something kind of a little bit exciting. Sounds like there might have been a little loss of signal, but everything's coming through good now. That's just what Brian's telling me. So I appreciate Brian and Rich helping me out, making sure everything's working good, because I've kind of had to set up this ragtag studio here. And if I end up closing the garage, you'll know why, because maybe neighbors are going to be loud. I've got the garage open right now to let a little extra light into this scene because it's a little bit dark in here. So anyways, now I'm going to show you guys this trap and talk a little bit about that. So what this is this idea originally came from a researcher in Israel. If you look in the description of this video, you'll see a description of kind of where this came from. But anyways, researchers were trying to find insects in trees without destroying trees. So this is similar to pitfall traps. This is a way to collect insects without killing plants or destroying other things. So what you do is you basically take some cardboard. Maybe we'll switch over to the other camera here. Maybe be a little better for us. Basically, you're going to take some cardboard. So I just cut cardboard into strips. And this is corrugated cardboard, which what that means is it's got these tiny little, let's see if we can get a good focus here. It's got these tiny little triangular shapes basically in here. And those are places where insects can go in and hide and kind of climb around in there. So anyways, that's kind of what you use. Oh, sorry, that probably sounded really loud hitting that microphone. That wasn't nice. So anyways, get cardboard strips, and then you're going to roll them up tightly, and then you're going to tape it. You could staple it or do something else, but basically that's what you do. So you'll take these, you can tie them onto trees, you can go put them in leafy areas. Most of the ones that I put out in a leafy area where there's just old dead leaves and dead plants and stuff. So that's what I did. So now I'm going to actually kind of crack some of these open and see if there's anything in there. And this is all live, so I didn't know if this was going to be a dud or not. I might not have found any insects. Out here in Idaho, it's still cold at this point. Like right now, I think the high today is supposed to be like 47 or 50. So it's still kind of cold, so we might not have found any insects. But I'm going to crack these open with you guys to see if I find anything and maybe comment on what we find amidst these different traps. So I put out about 8 of them. I'll go ahead and I'll pull those out. I just pulled those out. Let's switch over. Oops, here. So I've got these in here. And I'm going to take them one at a time, and I'm going to dump them here into this plate, and we'll see if there's any insects. I don't know if it matters whether you cut it open or not, but I am going to try just shaking it to see if there's anything in there. I'm sorry if that is very loud. I'll just go ahead and I'll cut this open. So we'll just cut open the tape. Hopefully y'all can see this pretty good. I'm just going to shake it out. And theoretically, there should be some insects that have gotten in there, but there was none in there. So there's our first one, nothing. So we'll see if there's any in the other ones. Again, remember guys, this is a test. I will make another video on how to use these once I'm able to get some insects if I don't find any this way. Let's go ahead and cut this open. The one insect that the researchers reported, which I totally agree with and believe, that they said you can find commonly in these, is earwigs. I do see there is a tiny little spider. It is so almost microscopically small. I'm going to empty them all out, and then if all I've got is really tiny things, then maybe I'll switch out and put on a macro lens so you can see a little bit closer some of these small things. But there is a tiny little spider running around right in this area. If you look close, oh, here's a spider right here too, a really tiny little spider. It's so, it's so small and hard to see, but it is moving around right there. That's a little spider. So we did find a couple things, but it's pretty quiet right now because it's still spring and it's still very cold. So all right, we've still got 3 more we can go through here. And these did get a little bit wet, and they are a little bit messy. So we'll see how this all turns out. I don't know if that makes a difference or what. Yeah, we got this one opened up. Try to give this a good shake. Trying not to destroy things that fall out, but trying to also shake it enough to knock things out of there. I don't even know if this is necessary. Maybe we don't even need the plate, but at least it kind of keeps them in this area. I'm going to do a little on the table here and see if I can. I would recommend, if you are going to do this, maybe not do them quite as long as mine. I did mine probably 1.5 feet on some of them, and that's just too hard to kind of get the stuff out. So I think that's maybe a little bit too long. I like, maybe 8 inches or something. I think that's the perfect length you want for these. If you don't want to use tape, you could use rubber bands. I just didn't have any of that when I made these. And I've had these out for, I think, about a week and a couple days, so 9-10 days I had these out. But it's been quite cold for the most part. I left these, I guess there was a question, how long did I leave them in the environment? I left them for, I think I already said that, 9 days or so. Good question, though. And right now, like I said, it's spring, but I would expect to find earwigs So I'll try and do this again in the summer. Hopefully we're not locked down that long, but I mean, if we are, I'll consider doing more live videos like this. Just because it's a lot easier to do. Right now in Idaho, we're kind of on a lockdown where we're not supposed to leave our houses unless it's absolutely essential. So it takes a lot of work for me to leave and go look for insects other than in my yard. So it's a challenge right now. So nothing in that one. I did see another really small spider moving around. There is a thrips. I'm going to have to get out my macro lens for this because these things that I'm seeing, guys, are really small. I mean, they are super small. I put these out almost like a garden. So in response to Hero Figure's question, where did I put them out? I put them just in my yard, so next to a lawn. There's a whole bunch of old dead leaves that I left over the winter as a nice overwintering site for bugs. So that's kind of where I put them, right along my deck in my yard. See what we could find. Okay. I see a colembula. It's hard to see some of these things because they're so small. I'm going to get out my macro lens. So there'll be just a brief pause while I go get that lens, and then I'm going to try and do some zoom in on this for you guys. If you have questions, please ask those right now, and I'll have Brian send those to me. Okay, this is going to be a challenge because usually I'm operating the camera, but I'm trying to talk to you guys too. So I'm going to try and do all this at once. So just shows you what I get to do with my job, right? All right, let's get this lens on. See how that macro is looking there. Looking pretty good. Okay. I'm going to move to the other side of the table and try to operate this camera a little better. I guess we could possibly just hold it up. We'll see if I can get some good shots with this like this. Okay, let's see if we can find that thrips again. I'm going to find something first, and then I'll kind of try to show you guys. There we go. Here's a colembula right over in this corner. We'll see if we can get it. Use my scissors here to try and keep track of these guys. This is the fun of trying to do everything by yourself, just trying to keep you guys entertained and then get the equipment to do what I want is really a challenge. Right in there. Do you guys see that really little thing moving there? Might not be the most clear. Trying to get the focus here is really a challenge. I'm having a hard time seeing it. I'm going to move to the other side of the table and try that. Let's see if I can get a better shot over there. Kentucky Fried Gamers asks, are you looking for anything in particular or just whatever you can get? I'm just looking for whatever I can get. It's likely going to yield earwigs. I'm trying to do some experiments with earwigs with some colleagues. So in the end, I'd like to get lots of earwigs. The researchers, I think, put out like 12 of these traps, and they got over 130 earwigs. But it could have been my location, and it can also be the temperature. So the environment will make a difference, and then also just the temperature, obviously. All that's part of the environment. So just putting them in different places. I'm going to try putting some in my house, too, to see if I can get some spiders and other things. So I'm going to try and adjust that macro lens. If you guys will just be patient with me. let's get this right down the table. Okay, I'm going to move my microphone, and now I'm going to be on the other side. I need to unhook a couple things. I'll be on the other side of the camera here, trying to get you guys some good shots. All right, here we go. All right, let's find that Columbola. When you're working with things this close up, it can be a real challenge. So usually I have tons of time to be editing all this stuff. Okay, here's a small spider. Let's try and get a good shot of that. Very small spider. Most likely a juvenile, but it could be older. Oops. Got hit by some falling debris. Pretty cool. Let's see what else we can find in here. There's a Columbola. We'll see if we can get it on the camera. Just so small. There it is. There's the Columbola right there. It's got a really cool stripe pattern. Do you guys see that? That's awesome. So not everything's going to be big, obviously. Right there is about the best focus we can get. I love that stripe pattern. It's really cool looking. See if there's anything else in here. I'm definitely going to have to do this again in the summer. That way then I can find a lot more things. I'm not seeing much else on there. I might take a look at it here in a minute, but I think I'm going to switch back to my other camera. So. Oops. Let's see. Okay, if there's any other questions, I'll take a couple questions. Other than that, then I'm going to maybe show you guys a quick preview of what I'm going to be doing in the next couple of weeks live. So, Tarantula Dude asks, do you collect live insects as in to keep them, or do you just deal with dead insects? I prefer working with live insects. I prefer keeping them alive and being able to have live insects to show to people. That's what I enjoy doing. It's just more enjoyable that way. So I prefer not having to kill them if I don't have to. But when I'm doing scientific research or having to do a collection for a class, then I will kill them if I have to. But I like enjoying insects alive. I enjoy doing catch and release. So all these guys that I got there under the macro lens right now, they're going to all get released. So. Looks like that was the only questions we had. So before I take off, guys, I'm going to just show you really quick a little preview of what you guys get to see next week on Thursday if you guys join us for the live stream. So I'm going to hop over and show you guys with the camera. I'll actually just pull it off here. Move this over here. So next week, when I talk about whether spiders are evil, I will be showing you guys my special friend here. We can find her. And her name came from a YouTube, one of our viewers, and her name is Ghost. She's a Carolina wolf spider. So she'll be joining next week when we talk about whether spiders are evil. Be extra gentle with her. And put her back. So anyways, guys, I am going to wrap up this episode. I didn't see any other questions. I'll check that really quick here on my phone. If there's any other questions, I'll take those. Otherwise, I'm going to put those times of those live streams back on the screen. That way, then you guys can tune in for those. But I appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully the quality was good. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments, and I'll hopefully get to see some of you guys on some of our other live videos here soon. Thanks, guys.